Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Can I just do a quick sound check? Can anybody just let me know if you guys can hear me loud and clear? Hi, Enola. Hi, Ethel. Hello, Reinhard. Hallo Willem. Willem, is dit 'n thumbs up? Jy kan my hoor of is dit 'n thumbs up soos in 'n hallo? Hi Joanne. Hi Rosie. Hallo Martie. Hi Jeff. Hallo Johan, gaan goed, dankie. Hoe gaan dit met jou? Is net baie warm hier in Pretoria. Sjoe. Hallo Marikie. Dankie Marikie. Thanks Reinhard. Guys, I can see there's a number of you that have already sent me requests to join me. I'm just going to finish my topic discussion. It won't take long. 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then I will give you guys an opportunity to speak. So please just bear with me and send in your requests to join the live. Just give me 25 to 30 minutes so I can just quickly discuss all the topics of the evening. Hello Nadia. Hallo Teresa, hi Marikie, hallo Belinda. Hallo Dougie, baie dankie vir die boeke wat jy gedonate het Dougie. Ons waardeer dit baie. Melissa het my vandag die foto's gestuur, so baie dankie vir daai boeke. Ons waardeer dit. Ons gaan dit skenk in 'n biblioteek of 'n skool. So ons waardeer dit. Thanks. Baie dankie. Hi Trish. Guys, so yeah, tonight the topics of the evening are did you know, and obviously common sense and logic in politics. So if you have any common sense, you will understand what I'm talking about tonight, and I will be discussing it or explaining it using common sense. So that's going to be an interesting one. I think I'm going to build my discussion around a very specific and very interesting talking point, something that happened in the last week or so, and that is the Department of Education's proposal for gender neutral, that's what they call it, or as we know it, unisex bathrooms in schools. So I think the question that's on everybody's lips is hierdie mense nou donders mal? And that's just putting it bluntly. And who comes up with this cock? Excuse my Swahili, but there's no other way to describe it, because that is exactly what it is. It's absolute bloody nonsense. I mean, if you want to apply common sense in this matter, then all you have to do is you just have to go and look at the crime stats in South Africa. Just look at, South Africa, I mean, it's not a secret, it's a fact. We have probably got one of the worst, if not the worst, child rape, child molestation, unwanted pregnancy or teenage pregnancy, abortion rates in the world. And now you want to go and create an environment that is going to encourage all this nonsense. So it just blows my mind, the stuff that these people are coming up with. And that is why I'm speaking about common sense and logic tonight. Because common sense tells me that any person, any party, any government, any organization that comes up with such nonsense does not care about the well-being and the protection of children in South Africa. That's common sense. And no person, politician, party, government can logically defend that ridiculous bill that they have proposed, or explain to me in logic how they care about the children of this country when they are coming up with such utter nonsense and rubbish. I mean, that's common sense. So it's shocking. It's shocking, and the UIM, as we posted some banners on our groups today, we are vehemently against it. And yeah, this brings me to the common sense part of the discussion. Do you value, as citizens of South Africa, do you value the protection and the security and the safety and security of children in South Africa? If you do, then why would you vote for a party or a person that doesn't? That's common sense. Because as I said, as I mentioned, any person or party, government that comes up with such a ridiculous suggestion does not care. They don't care, and they cannot logically prove to me that they do. Do you as citizens value your safety and security? Do you want to have the right to defend yourselves and to protect your own lives and the lives of your families? If so, then why would you ever vote for a party or a person that doesn't care? That's common sense. That's common sense. You don't need a law degree. You don't need a political degree. You don't even need a high education to understand this concept. It's common sense. Do you guys want to live in a country that's economically stable? Do you want to have financial security? Then why would you vote for a party, person or government that has been robbing this country blind? Once again, common sense. Do you guys want service delivery? Do you want municipalities that work? Do you want to drive on roads that are not completely and utterly destroyed? Are you guys tired of load shedding? Then why would you vote for a person, government or party that doesn't care? That doesn't care about these things. And no party, person or government can logically explain themselves or prove to me that they care when they have completely destroyed Eskom, when half of the municipalities in South Africa are bankrupt, when our roads are in such a mess, in such a state that you can't drive on them anymore. How do you explain that logically? You can't. It's impossible because it's not logic and it doesn't make sense. That is as simple as it is. And like I said, you don't need a degree in law. You don't need a degree in politics to understand these things. These are simple concepts. These are things that we are experiencing every single day. It's evident. It's out there for us to see. We feel it. We see it. We experience it. It doesn't take rocket science. Now, this is where things get interesting, unfortunately, because some parties and some people or leaders out there are employing brilliant marketing skills. They have leaders in their party that are brilliant speakers. They make beautiful promises and they say all the right words to get your votes. And then when you vote for them, they go and auction off your votes to the highest bidder. So if you're asking who is the highest bidder, that's once again common sense will tell you who the highest bidder is. There's a golden rule in it's my golden rule. It's not the golden rule that you are all used to. And that golden rule is the one with the gold rules. So who's got all the gold in South Africa? The bigger parties, without naming them, have all the money and resources to make all the deals they need to make and all the promises to ensure that other people are promised positions, money, allegedly, all kinds of nice things to sweeten the deal, to steal your votes. Yes, to steal your votes. So if you guys think, and this is something that I think I'm preaching to the converted because I think all of you are UIM supporters. But to all the people out there that are not UIM supporters, I would like to ask you a question. If you vote for a party that takes your votes and forms a coalition with another party and adds your votes to that party's votes to retain power, either in government or in council, don't you think it's exactly the same thing as voting for that party itself? So let's take the ANC as an example. If a party or a person tells you that they also want to change government, that they are tired of the ANC, that the ANC has done X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 we all know the story, and they promise you that they are going to change things, and you vote for them, and they take your 1 million votes, and they go and form a coalition with the ANC in a municipal council or in government, then you could have just voted for the ANC. That's common sense. So it's very, very important that people make informed decisions when they vote for parties. Don't just think that you guys are taking votes away from the parties that you don't want to vote for by voting for other parties instead. You need to be 100% sure that those parties are going to fulfill their promises, are going to stick to their word, and that are going to carry out your mandates as voters, because you as the voters give the people power. You give these parties power to make decisions. Did you know this is an incentive we have started in the last couple of weeks, where we post a banner every week, a little information banner. It's called Did You Know? And we share bits of, little bits of information with you, but important information that hopefully is reaching as many people as possible out there. And hopefully these people will read it and they will think about what we are saying in those little banners that we post. One of the banners that we posted recently is when I explained to the people out there that there's 400 seats in the National Assembly, in Parliament. 400 people voted for by us as citizens that make decisions on behalf of 60 million other people. And the funny thing is, they don't even need 400 votes in Parliament to pass a law or to make a decision. They only need 267. That's a 2/3 majority. So 267 people in Parliament get to make decisions on behalf of 60 million people that affects our lives, our futures, and our livelihoods. So don't you think when you vote next time, you better make sure that you are putting the right people in those positions, so that they can make the type of decisions and pass the kinds of laws that benefit you as the voters, us as citizens, which is not happening at the moment. If you are going to go to a brain surgeon, or if you have to go for a heart bypass, you're not going to go to some idiot. You're going to go to the best doctor possible, because your life is at stake. Well, our lives are at stake as well. People are committing suicide because of depression, because of the state that this country is in. People have lost their jobs. People have lost their families. I mean, the divorce rate is through the roof. I mean, we are living in extreme conditions, and tension is building every single day. It's because we have entrusted certain people to make decisions on our behalf, and they are stuffing it up. And the people keep on voting for those same people every 5 years. Common sense logic, where is it? Where's the common sense and logic in that? So people need to be very careful, guys. You must remember this, and I'm going to use this as a practical example. If your car breaks down, if you work hard and you earn your money and you buy a car and you value your possessions, your car breaks down. You take your car. Are you going to take your car to a mechanic, a reputable mechanic, or are you going to take it to a baker or somebody that doesn't know a thing about cars? You're going to take it to a mechanic, and the best one possible, so that he can fix your car, because you value your car, because you worked hard for it. If that mechanic stuffs up your car, will you ever take your car back to that same mechanic? No, because that's logical. That's common sense. What happens if you take your car to a mechanic that has got a great reputation, is getting great reviews on social media, is a smooth talker, is a brilliant marketer? You take your car to that mechanic, and he goes and he takes your car to another mechanic, a backyard mechanic that stuffs up your car. Will you ever take your car back to that mechanic again? Because the last time you took your car to that mechanic, he went and he handed your car to another mechanic that did a terrible job on your car. No, you won't. That's logic. And it's exactly the same in politics. Don't vote for parties that are just going to end up supporting parties that we regard as the enemy. And we regard them as the enemy because they are not for the people. They are against the people, and they are proving it through their actions. There's proof of it. We are not thumb-sucking the information. These are facts. These are proven facts. So please, guys, if you're going to vote for anybody, please make sure that you go and make sure that these parties at least have a decent track record. You know, sometimes you have to take a leap of faith before you can trust somebody. You know, the trust part comes later. But luckily, when it comes to politics, you don't have to base your decision on faith alone, because there's evidence out there that you guys can go and look at to determine whether or not you're making an informed or an intelligent decision or not. And the evidence that I'm speaking of is, you know what? Go to your local municipality. Go and do a bit of research on Google. Go and see who the coalitions are in council. That will give you a pretty good idea of what to expect in 2024, I think. So if parties are already siding with the ANC or the EFF or forming coalitions with them in council, don't you think they will do exactly the same in 2024 in government? And if you want to make sure that 267 people that are going to make decisions on our behalf, you need to make sure that those people don't consist of ANC and EFF and coalition partners only. That's very important. We've been trying for years. Political parties have been trying for years to keep the ANC under a 2/3 majority, the ANC. Because if they have that 2/3 majority, they can do whatever they want. But they can still do whatever they want if other parties form coalitions with them and help them retain their 2/3 majority. Because they've got the money. They've got the gold. And the one with the gold rules. So we are trying desperately from head office at the UIM. You know, we are posting information banners weekly. We want to educate the people. We want to make sure that people stay informed. Make an effort. Read your newspapers. Don't read the sports section only. Go and read the Government Gazette every Friday. Take the time and effort to make sure that you guys study politics, because whether you want to know it or not, you are all politicians. Every single one of you. Politics rules our lives. It rules our lives. You can take anything that you do on a day-to-day basis. Your work, healthcare, your safety and security, everything is determined by political decisions. The laws that govern this country, these laws are drawn up by politicians and passed by politicians. And we all have to adhere to those laws and stick to those laws and follow those laws. So people, please make sure that you pick people that will make laws that benefit us as citizens and protect us, and laws that will help this country heal, because we are at ground zero. We have reached the bottom of the barrel economically, and the only way to recover is to start putting people into positions or into leadership positions that know what they're talking about and that actually care about their jobs and the people of South Africa, because that is not the case at the moment, and the evidence is there. We just saw it this week with this ridiculous proposal for gender-based or gender-neutral bathrooms, or whatever the hell you want to call it. And just here's a little bit of information for you. Did you know the DA proposed gender-neutral bathrooms in 2020 already? So the DA actually also proposed it. and they wanted to implement it in Cape Town International Airport. And common sense logic, once again, children also go to public bathrooms. So the DA is actually one of the parties that came up with this idea first. Disappointingly so. Luckily it was shot down. Now it's the Department of Education. Surprise, surprise. So guys, we don't have to spell this out to you every single week. Government doesn't care about you. The ruling party doesn't care about you. Parties that form coalitions with parties that don't care about you also don't care about you. Die deler is net so goed soos die steler. If you assist or aid a murderer by either hiding that person or helping him or her escape, you become an accessory after the fact to murder. Die deler is net so goed soos die steler. So if you support parties that don't care about us, then you are part of the rotten system that we are all living under currently in South Africa. And that's all I wanted to say in a nutshell. So guys, please, common sense, logic at all times. Please make sure that you repost everything that we post on our social media groups every week. It's important for the people out there to get this information as well. Hopefully there are people out there that still have a little bit of common sense and logic, and that these messages will stick in their memory when it comes to election time in 2024. That's all that's required. That is all that you need in South Africa to make an intelligent decision or an informed decision, is just apply logic and common sense. And look at what's happening around you. The evidence is there. So, thank you for listening. I want to give you guys an opportunity to maybe add some comments to this discussion. I see that I've got 2 invitations already, so let's see if I can sign you guys in quickly so that you can give us, I would like to hear what your opinions are on tonight's discussion. Sorry, as you know, it normally takes a bit of time for me to sign people in, so just be patient and please send me your requests so that I can add you to the discussion, guys. Please, at the bottom of the screen, there's a little icon there that you can just click on so that I can get your request and approve it. Good evening, met wie praat ek nou? Hello?
Hi.
Hello, met wie praat ek? Hallo, jy kan maar gesels. Hallo. Hi. Can I just ask Shirley? Shirley, sorry, can you just maybe try again? Send me another request. I don't know if you could hear me. I tried to add you, but we can't hear you. Good evening, Steve.
How's it, Jacques?
Yeah,
how are you doing?
Yeah, you can hear me loud and clear. Thanks. I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, I just thank you for everything that you've spoken about tonight. I was actually watching this other thing tonight where the people are talking about LGBTQI, and interesting. And the toilet problem, and I totally disagree with the toilet thing. I think it's setting us up for children to get hurt and abused, and especially on the female side of things, because females are very protective over their sanitation and things like that, and they like their space to feel that they are safe in a situation of being in a toilet or that kind of thing. The thing is, I want to say to the people tonight, Jacques, is just a couple of stats. This year already, Well, in the last 3 months, apparently, according to Becky Tseli, 11,000 rapes in the last 3 months. Now, to me, that's shocking. Okay. 90-odd thousand school children between the ages of 10 and 14 pregnant in school. Something is wrong with that picture. 75 people plus minus a day being murdered. So yeah, so when we think about voting, we actually need to think very clearly. I mean, in this last week, as you know, a young 28-year-old female was murdered a street up from us for whatever reason, walking home. It's just sick. And then this morning, it looked like a police officer, but I'm not going to confirm it was, but somebody hanging from who hung himself facing the road. It's sick. You know, people are under a lot of pressure and a lot of stress with all the crime that's going on. You don't want to leave your house. You don't want to go for a walk. You don't want to go anywhere, and you've got to keep your eyes open at all times. I mean, even if you go to the beach for an ice cream, which I did this weekend with my wife, but my eyes were everywhere but where they were meant to be, you know, looking who's behind me, who's around me, who's coming past me, because they've given us that fear, and it's not a good thing. Children cannot play in the streets, ride their bicycles, go play in the parks. They've always got to be accompanied by their families. So I think we need to seriously look at, as human beings, what we want out of life and what we expect the government to do for us. Unfortunately, this government is not doing anything for us, it's just making it worse for us. So, and coming up with all these little things just before elections, they're trying to stir the pot and upset people. This is their logic, the way they do it. It's just, they try and get your mind off other things to put you stuck on this thing, and then you forget about the other things and you concentrate on this thing, and then the other things come through. That's how they operate. They are so, I want to say clever, but I can't say that. So yeah, it's important that we think for ourselves. And the biggest problem that I find is that the minority people, of a group of people, the whites, the Indians, the coloreds, and I hate that we have to talk like that because it's just ridiculous. We are all human beings. We shouldn't be classed in a race thing, but we are the minority groups. That is the fact of the matter. We need to stand together. Why have we got this thing in this country where we do not stand together, where we just accept load shedding? Ugh, you know what?
Steve,
I mean, can you imagine life without load shedding? It would be boring.
Steve, but here's my question. Does it make common sense to you? Is it logical?
No, it doesn't. None of this makes sense. But then if it doesn't make sense, if the people on this platform right now, which is 157 people, if half of them can get what we're talking about and say, yeah, it doesn't make sense, then we've actually achieved something. And that is what we have to do.
Yeah.
So
you see, the thing is, appealing to this current government is never going to work, because we have been doing it for years now.
Forever.
Appealing to them, or appealing to their sense of human nature, or whatever you want to call it, it's not going to work. We need other people there. We need other leaders there. We need to give other people a chance, and we need to make sure that this happens, because this is a repetitive pattern that's just been going on. And you know what? We are suffering under this. We are suffering because of decisions taken by incompetent paras that don't care about us. Ek weet nie wat anders om te sê nie. Ek het woorde hier in my mond, maar ek is te bang. Het gaan uitglip nou. We are suffering under these decisions. So, you know what? If we are tired of suffering under these decisions, then we need to change the decision makers. Because they are showing week in and week out that they, number one, can't make intelligent decisions. The decisions that they make definitely don't benefit us. And it shows that they absolutely 100% don't care about us.
100%.
So why are we putting up with this? Because the people at the end of the day are keeping these people in the positions that they are. It's us, the people, that are keeping them there. And some people, unfortunately, in South Africa's lives are worth a t-shirt and a sandwich. Shit, that's terrible. And I wish we could go and speak to these people in their masses and tell them, guys, there's a whole better world out there for you. Don't sell yourselves, or don't sell yourselves for a t-shirt and a bloody sandwich.
The question is why? Why are they doing this? Why do we continue to do the same thing? What are we scared of? Or, I don't know, what are we hoping for? It just, as you say tonight, it makes no sense. It's like everyone's just on this thing, and you know what, like I said, if there's no load shedding, everyone's happy. If there's load shedding, it is what it is. We're so used to it that one day when there isn't load shedding, which I don't think is going to happen shortly, people are actually going to miss it, because that's how bad it is. You know, it's like become part of your life. I mean, you pay taxes, your roads are broken. You must have a license. Your car must be licensed to drive on good roads, but the roads are not licensed to have cars drive on them. You know, everything's a mess. It's just a mess. The biggest problem that I'm finding now is we have a water crisis. Not as in there's no water, but is the water good enough to drink?
You know what, Steve? I'm a realist. You know I'm a realist. I know for a fact that we're not going to convert this whole country. I know for a fact that we are not going to reach this whole country with our message. I know it. I know for a fact that we are not going to ensure that everybody is informed by 2024. But here's the good news. If you take all the minorities in South Africa that you just mentioned, if you take the pensioners in South Africa that are being totally neglected by government, if you take the disabled community, the people that are disabled in this country that are being completely neglected by government, if you take the youth of South Africa that are not interested in politics but should be, if you take those people and those groups and you put them together, I'm telling you now, we're talking about 8 million, 9 million people. We can make a massive impact in 2024 on the outcome of this election that's coming up in 2 years. Massive. I just don't understand. I don't know what the magic word is, or what the golden key is, or where's the magic wand that I'm going to use to just ensure that people just wake up one morning and realize that, you know, don't be just a spectator, be a participant. Okay, we're not asking you to go out and wear political t-shirts and put up gazebos and speak out of, you know, talk through loudspeakers. But, you know, educate yourselves and speak to your families and friends, and I mean, do whatever you can to make sure that people get the bloody message so that we can change things, because we can actually change things. I think people have become so despondent, and people have lost belief and faith that this country can ever change. It can, but it's not going to change if we keep on sitting on our bloody gata and do nothing about it, and refuse to get up and vote in 2024 because, you know what, I'm not feeling too well today, or I've got better things to do, or it's such a long walk to the voting station, or I'll rather watch something on television or whatever. You know what, then we have to live with this cut for the rest of our lives. Sorry, that's the second time I used that word tonight, so I won't use it on my
The thing is, if we don't, we must make a decision. So maybe out of I saw a comment earlier, we aren't 60 million voters, obviously not. So let's just take it down because of all the children and stuff. Let's call it 40 million people. Maybe there's a lot of people within that 40 million group that have got a lot of money, and they've decided, you know what, let's just leave the country alone and just go and live somewhere else in another country. Well, that's not going to solve the problem, okay? Because till now, we've lost so many engineers and doctors and great people that have gone somewhere else, and it's actually got us nowhere. And not everyone can afford to go over there, and not everyone can, those that can afford it, can't afford to take their families with them. So their parents end up stuck here, and then eventually end up on the street, or I've seen it with my own eyes, eating cat food out of a tin. I mean, really. So,
Yeah,
you know,
now,
we've got to make a decision. It's as simple as that. We've got a year to go before election time. So those of us that can put our hands deep in our pockets and help us to get out there and get the name of the UIM out there. And those of us who really believe that the UIM is the answer or whatever, as long as it's not the ANC and the EFF and all these other funny guys, then that's fine. We just need help. We need help. We need people to share the information and to speak to their families and be a part of this whole thing. You cannot sit in your chair and watch TV and say that you have done something. You've done nothing. Be a part of the solution.
yeah, and Steve, you mentioned the people that have immigrated. You know what? There's about 3 million people living abroad currently, expats, and all of those people are eligible to vote in the 2024 election, by the way. And I'm sure that those people that left didn't leave because they love the ANC and that they are happy with the current conditions in South Africa. So if any of our expats and any of our fellow South Africans living abroad, if this message reaches your ears, guys, please share it. Start your own groups wherever you are. Get all the people that are staying in the same communities or towns or whatever countries with you. Let's ask our expats to make a huge difference in 2024. Let's ask these people to please. I know that you guys are probably now living in better living conditions and, you know, life is good, but we are asking you as the people that have stayed behind, don't forget us, and please take part in the 2024 elections and help us change this country. And then who knows, you guys might even want to return it someday or at some point. So please, guys, all South Africans living abroad, you guys can make a huge difference in 2024. And we are pleading with you not to just sit back and watch this country burn, because you can make a huge difference. That's it.
Thanks, Jacques, man. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. It's nice to have you. Nice to have you on. It's always nice. Bye-bye. Shaal Bester, Shaal, ek sien jy het ook 'n request gestuur, so kom ons kyk of ek jou gou kan add. En daarna gaan ek vir Jacques van Sail 'n kans gee. Jacques, so hou net vas. Hallo Shaal.
Hi, SG, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Too blessed to be stressed. Tired though.
Send some of those blessings this way, please.
Yeah, you need it. I see your ears long. Yeah, good evening, everybody. Yeah, like Steve now mentioned, you know, there's such a lot we can say. And we all talk about, you know, what if. And all that I say is, you know what, at the end of the day, it starts with the person in the mirror. And if we are not going to start by making the change, then we're going to sit with the same problem that we currently sit in. It's the same thing like with this toilets issue. At schools specifically, I mean, why would you want something like that at schools? Who's going to monitor who's going in, who's going out? A straight person, for that matter, can play bi or gay and go in and cause havoc. Who's going to know? Who's going to know I'm gay or I'm straight? Same with you and the rest of the people on our life. So it's just a way of, you know, sexual harassment taking things by storm. And we have kids on high school, and we know what currently happens on high school, primary school, the bullying, etc. So it's just going to amplify. Then we talk about, you know, crime. That's a major topic. Our children can't play outside like they used to. You need to watch your child playing outside for an hour where you could have been doing something constructive around the house. I mean, all those types of things. But like I say, it starts with us, me, I, and then we together will then be able to make that change. So it's not about the I or me, it's about the we. And everybody on the live and whoever sees it, people who support the UIM or don't support the UIM, you know what, it's simple. We all say that the ANC has been in government for so long. Guess what? So has the DA. And what have they done for the time that they have been in government? Yes, here and there, if they do good, you know, we acknowledge that. But we hold them accountable for the things that's not done. I just said last night also, I logged the request for cleaning and cutting and mowing and stuff. And I said, why is it when we ask about service delivery, they ask you for a reference number? Did you log a C3? I go to work every day. You go to work. Everybody go to work. You get told what you need to do? No, you know what you need to do. So why must we log C3s in order for the city or council, DA, to do their work? But we need to tell them when and how they need to do their work. You have a schedule, follow it. Understand? So we as a people need to come together and be the change that we want to see. That's plain and simple. Doesn't, like when Steve said, this color thing, black, brown, and all this, it's a bunch of crap. I mean, we're human. We
I think we have moved way past and beyond that, those issues. I mean, that is stuff
yes.
that plagued us and haunted us 30 years ago. We have moved on from that.
Exactly. And I mean, we are where we are today. I am with the UIM. Why? Because I believe that change is possible. And
Yes.
I want to be part of that change. And that is how I feel, and I keep it positive. And if we all put it out there and stay positive, then it's going to be positive. The more positives we put in, it will outnumber the negatives.
Yeah.
So let's all stay positive and let's keep our eye on the prize. Hashtag 2024.
Thank you, Charles.
Thanks, Jacques.
Appreciate you joining. Thank you. Dankie. Mooi loop.
Keep well.
Yeah, guys, you know what? Even if they don't implement this new proposal, this bloody unisex bathroom thing, just the mere fact that they brought it up, the mere fact that they suggested it, I mean, that's enough for me in my books to permanently write you off. Doesn't matter who you are, and that counts for the DA as well. They proposed it in 2020. I mean, what were they thinking? Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself now. Raak nou sommer kwaad. Hey. Jacques, ek probeer jou gou insign. Guys, I'm just going to be alive for another 10 or 15 minutes, so please keep your comments as short as possible so that there's 2 or 3 other people that want an opportunity to speak. I would like to give all of you a chance. So, yeah, keep it short, keep it sweet, and to the point. Wag net gou vir Jacques. Jacques, ek sien ek sukkel bietjie. Ek weet nou nie wat aangaan nie. Ah, sorry Jacques. Dit sê jou request is gedecline, so. Okay, kom ons probeer verder gou hierso. Kom ons vra vir Virginia. Virginia Young. Hallo Virginia. Ja, Virginia hierso van my valley. So, dis 'n surprise. So hoop ons kry vir Virginia op hierdie gesprek. Hi Virginia.
Hi, hoe gaan dit?
Goed, dankie met jou. Welkom, welkom.
Dankie, SG. Weet jy, oor die toilet story, né?
Ja.
Daar sit 'n klein kind, 'n klein dogtertjie in 'n toilet by Dros verkrag. Nou wat dink hulle wat gaan gebeur? En ek dink hier gaan die gemeenskappe regtig moet opstaan en sê ons kan nie ons meisiekinders veral so uitlewer. Die ANC, die DA, al die mense wat die ding propose. As mense nie gaan wakker kan sien, hulle is regtig van die hel af nie. Dan weet ek nie. Because at the end of the day,
Ja.
die way wat hulle regeer, die goed wat hulle doen, hoe kan jy 'n meisie en 'n seun, die kinders is al klaar so stout op skool, en daar is sulke groot probleme van kinders wat gemolesteer word by die skool, deur ander kinders. Die ding kan nooit gebeur, dit kan nog nooit 'n realiteit word vir ons nie.
Maar Virginia, dink jy die mense wat dit uitgedink het, dink jy hulle is intelligent, dink jy hulle het breins?
Nee, hulle is stupids man, hulle is useless. Jy kan maar dan sien hoe steel hulle die land bankrot en al die goed wat hulle gedoen het. Ons word regeer deur mense wat oud is, wat moet gaan slaap. Ek meen net hoe sit hulle in slaap in parlement. Groot anties wat wil run vir president. Nee, ons daar is 'n tyd wanneer mense moet besef, die land nodig leiers wat nog verstandelik gesond is.
Ja,
en dit is 'n belangrike. Want daai mense is oud, hulle sit in slaap. Hulle moet gaan. Baie hulle is oupas en oumas. Dit sê nie jy oupa en oumas is oud nie, maar ek meen hulle is groot, 70, wat soek hulle daar? Hulle moet plek maak vir regdenkende mense.
As jy nou as 'n employer, as jy nou 'n company het en jy het nou mense wat vir jou werk, en die mense breek jou besigheid af en hulle worry nie oor jou of jou werk, of dit wat jy hard gewerk het om op te bou nie. Wat gaan jy met daai employees doen? Gaan jy hulle promote of fire?
Ek freaking fire hulle. Jy sien ek is in 'n nie vloek sabbatical soos. Ek fucking fire hulle. Dan weet jy wat, né? Ek kan nie, dit is hoekom ons sit waar ons sit nou met die land en die ekonomie en die load shedding en al die gemors wat ons mee met saamleef. En nou kom hulle met die stront van die skole. As mense jou land afbreek, dis ons land en ons moet fight vir dit. Kyk wat doen hulle in se skole. Hulle verengels al die skole en ons is Afrikaans. Waar kom kry jy al die skole in 'n gemeenskap in 'n oorwegende Afrikaans gemeenskap?
Ja.
Daar sit een Afrikaanse klas per skool. En ons laat dit toe, because ons hou die mense in power. Ons moet met ons families praat, met ons vriende, ons moet met ons bure praat, mense, ons moet uitgaan. Dis 'n groot werk wat ons voorlê vir ons vir 2024. Niemand kan sit en daar net dink hulle gaan. Ja, as jy het gehoor, jy sê, jy weet, jy praat nie mense met op die hoeke gaan staan met loudspeakers. Dit is presies wat ons gaan doen. Dit is wat ons gaan doen vir UIN. Because mense moet weet wie's UIN. Hulle moet weet waarvoor staan ons. Hulle moet weet wat wil ons hê vir hulle in die land. Ons kan nie nog ambagte verloor nie. Ons verloor skills, dokters, verpleegsters. Jy weet ook, dat ek heeltemal aangaan. Kom ons sê aan maar iemand anders kan.
Virginia, maar ek wil net sê, ek is bly is aan ons kant en nie teen ons hier, hoor.
Ek is bly is so dan.
Dankie, hoor.
Bye, dankie, bye.
Dankie, bye. Sure, I think we need a little bit more of that. Ja, it was a breath of fresh air. Kom ons vra gou vir Johannes, Erasmus. Johannes, ek gaan gou jou kyk of ek jou kan opsign. Sorry guys, I see that we're having some problems signing in some of you. I don't know why, but yeah, let's hold thumbs. Johannes, hallo.
Hi, hoe gaan dit met julle?
Goed, dankie en jy?
Alright, my phone is op charge, excuse man. Ja,
ek sien die hospitaal of nie?
Nee, my linne is net wit, my linne is wit. Nou, I was just thinking, ek dink nou net aan hierdie dinge. Ek stem ook nie daarmee saam nie. Throughout all these years, thousands of years of human evolution, was daar altyd 'n onderskeiding gewees tussen man en vrou. Jy verstaan? There's a reason for it. Ons het geldige rede vir ons het al klaar 'n meisie nou die dag het ek gehoor wat verkragt was by die skool in die kleedkamer.
Ja.
So we can't, ons kan nie hierdie nonsens in ons land nie. I don't agree with it. Maar ons het 'n sistemiese probleem in ons land. If you close your eyes and I tell you what does a French person look like, you sort of get an idea. Een Engelsman, ensovoorts ensovoorts. As ek vir jou sê, maak toe jou oë en sê vir my hoe lyk 'n Suid-Afrikaner. Jy sal nie vir my kan sê hoe lyk 'n Suid-Afrikaner nie. So everybody's talking about unity, 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 but we are a society wat divers is. Maar met hierdie nuwe wêreldagenda waar hulle diversiteit wil doodmaak, verloor almal hulle identiteit. Alles word met een paintbrush geborsel, almal word een kleur geverf. Nameless, identityless, religiousness, cultureless. En dis wat in ons land gebeur. Ons het 'n sistemiese probleem in die land. En as jy nie weet waarvandaan jy kom nie, weet jy nie waar jy heen gaan nie. En dit is die probleem wat ek sien in ons land. In your quest for inclusion, you are completely disrespecting diversity by wanting to follow the New World Order, by wanting to paint everybody with the same brush. We must all have no culture, no identity, no race, no sex. And that is a communistic worldview. It's got huge implications, massive. Ons taal doesn't exist anymore. Jy bly in die kus, jy bly in die Ooskaap waar ek nou vandaan is. Jy hoor skaars Afrikaans. En ek was gelukkig om in 'n Afrikaanse hoërskool te wees daarom. Maar alles is vir Engels. Jy praat met jou eie mense, hy's 'n Afrikaanse van, maar jy praat met jou terug in Engels. You know, so it depends on where you live, your culture, your institutions. As daar nie instituute is nie, wat jou kultuur en jou taal bewaar nie, dan gaan jou taal nie meer bestaan nie. En dis 'n tipe van 'n genocide, waar hulle jou kultuur wil uitwis uit die samelewing uit. So ons het 'n groot agenda aan die gang in hierdie land, 'n gevaarlike agenda. En mense moet begin dink in wat ek oor nou net gepraat het. Close your eyes and describe to me, what does a South African look like?
Dankie Johannes, jy het dit nou baie goed gestel.
Know where you come from, then you will know where you are going to. En as ons kan nou sien wat hier aangaan, en ons stem nie saam met wat aangaan nie, of wat hulle wil implementeer nie, soos hierdie paspoorte en die identiteitskaarte sonder 'n agenda op, né? If they start implementing these things, then we will not know where we are going to in the future. But hier is nuwe wêreldorde, United Nations goed wat hulle wil implementeer. Ons skoolmyne toemaak, Biden. Nee? Maar hulle wil iets toemaak, maar daar's nie iets om hom te vervang nie. Of die transitional phases, want jy weet, as jy van een ding gaan na 'n ander een toe, moet jy iets hê om mee te transition in die nuwe stelsel. Dit bestaan nie, die infrastruktuur bestaan nie. Ons spoorwesens sê moere in, maar hulle wil nie vragmotors op die pad hê nie. Hulle wil ook nie hê die nuwe wêreldorde jy moet eendag 'n kar hê nie. Jy moet publieke transport gebruik. Waar is die publieke busse deesdae? Jy moet 'n kwela klim. Jy sien? Jy kan direk die ekonomie manipuleer as jy beheer het oor sy kragsentrale stelsel en die brandstof. Ek kan alles duurder maak, ongoddelik duur maak, as ek die brandstofpryse beheer en manipuleer en die kragpryse manipuleer. Hoekom? Ons betaal meer vir krag, né? Maar Eskom hardloop op generators wat op diesel loop. So jy betaal duur vir diesel by die garage en jy betaal duur vir krag. So jy word sommer 2 keer ongesiens, you're paying an unseen tax. And what is inflation? Wat is inflasie? Dis 'n ongesiene belasting wat net die staat toe gaan en die ANC se gat sak. So ons word letterlik verkrag in hierdie land. En ons moet begin wakker raak. Maar when we talk about unity and togetherness, solidarity, come back to the question. Close your eyes, tell me, what does a South African look like? Ons probleem het begin in hierdie land in 1910, when the Union of South Africa was created. Because this wasn't one country, this was many territories. Toe word daar hierdie entiteit geskep, the Republic of South Africa in 1910. Toe formuleer hulle hierdie groot ding wat ons nou noem RSA. En daar het die kak nou begin. It all started there. Why? Because Paul Kruger wouldn't give the people that wanted diamonds and gold, citizenship, and to maak hulle oorlog. So the history and the problems in this country didn't start today. Dit het lank terug gebeur. En ons voorouers het daarvoor betaal en baie mense, wit, swart, bruin, pink, almal het daarvoor betaal. Tot die Chinese. As jy gaan na hierdie mynmuseum, toe sal jy sien op daai wit en swart foto's, dat vir Chinese wat in die myn ook gewerk het, uit al. Jy weet, vir pennies, vir washers. So,
Johannes, ekskuus. You need to wrap it up, please. Ek moet vir iemand anders 'n kans gee. Dankie. Jy gee vir ons nou hier 'n les. Les in politieke geskiedenis.
The inequalities, the injustices didn't start in apartheid.
Ja.
It started long before that. And we need to move forward together as South Africans, whatever that means. Okay, that's my contribution, and thank you for it. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Johannes. Waardeer hoor. Baie dankie.
Bye.
Geniet jou aan. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Guys, yeah, it's nice to listen to all your views and your comments. I think we need to stop living in the past, though. I think, you know what, people must stop using the past as excuses for poor decision-making and governance and leadership skills. I think we have moved past a lot of things that happened. And unfortunately, people are always playing that card to excuse themselves from the absolute terrible job they are doing as leaders of this country. And we cannot let them get away with it anymore. They've been getting away with it for so long now. Maar dit is nou tot hier toe en nie verder nie. I think we have reached the point of no return. Ek dink ons glasies en ons bekertjies is nou mooi vol en ons is nou goed gehad vol. I think it's time for change. We have given people enough opportunities and time to prove to us that they can govern and that they care. And it is evident if you use common sense and if you apply logic to the matter, it's very clear and evident that they can't lead, that they don't care, and that we are going to, and that we are heading down the same road we've been heading down for the last 27 years if we don't make some radical changes to this government. And it's going to take the people of South Africa to make these changes. It's only going to take the people of South Africa. Let me repeat that. We as citizens of this country have the final say. But remember, when you make your little cross in 2024, you can't take it back the following day. You're going to have to live with that decision until 2029. So whatever you decide in 2024, make sure that you make an informed decision, that you educate yourselves. You've got enough. You've got 2 years until then. And make sure that you don't regret your decision the day after the elections, because you're going to have to live with that decision. So guys, please make sure that you make intelligent, informed decisions that make sense, common sense and logic. And there are make logical decisions or take logical decisions. And please make sure that you spread this message far and wide, because there's people out there that need to listen to this. I'm preaching to the converted on this live, but there are people out there that need to listen to this message and that needs to sink in. And I will continue repeating this message every week if I have to, because I think that is the only message that people need to hear. And it's the most important message that people need to hear. So I will keep on repeating this, and I'm going to do it on banners, Facebook posts, you name it. And I will speak about this topic at least once a month and invite people to comment on it as well. So this will be my main message for the next 2 years. So thank you very much for joining, guys. I appreciate it. I know it's late, but thank you for your patience and thank you for your support. Thank you to everybody that joined me tonight and for your positive comments. There's hope for this country. There's hope for this country, 100%, but we are going to have to take action. We're going to have to take action. We can't sit and wait for other people to do it for us, and we can't be spectators. We need to be participants. So have a great night, guys, and I'll see you next week, Wednesday. Take care, and please repost all the information that you guys see on Facebook. Any UIM content that we post, links to our lives, links to our official social media platforms, the info that we give you, that we share on our social media pages. Please go and repost that info on your private Facebook pages and WhatsApp groups as well, and community groups, so that we can reach people that are not on our official platforms. So take care, guys. Thanks a lot. Good night.